Hello, I hope you're doing well. So, in today's class, we're going to continue from where we left. And in the previous class, we did this level, which is always on. We were able to create a circuit that, given an input, regardless of the input, the output is always on. We also had these others called second tick, and finally we did an XOR gate. So for today, we are going to do this bigger OR gates, AND gates, and a couple more like XOR, and by the end of this class we'll be able to have handled the basic logics, as we can see from the bottom here, and then we can get to more advanced kind of circuits. So let's get into it. It says create an OR gate with 3 inputs. Okay, so it's just an OR gate, but the previous OR gate had 2 inputs, as we can see over here, but now we want to create a bigger OR gate. Okay, and as we know, an OR gate takes in the previous time we were saying an OR gate usually takes 2 inputs like this, and outputs it. But now we still have a third output, right? So we also need to ensure that it works with this. So in that case, the good thing with OR gate is that it's not that restrictive, in that we can do this. We can just chain an OR gate to make it bigger. And I believe that will work. Let's test the first one. On the first tick, when everything is the output is off, the input is off, the 3 inputs, these are the 3 inputs, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, and this is the outputs represented by this as well. When all the inputs are off, the output is off, and when just the first one is off, is on, as you can see, the current is able to flow through the OR gate, and since the OR gate is not so restrictive, and it just only compares it compares the 2 inputs, and if the 2 inputs are they are the 2 inputs, if one of the inputs is true, then the whole statement, or rather the output, is true. So as we can see, either of these can be true for these 2 output a signal, either or both of them. And still, after that, we also compare the output of these 2, which is represented by this one output, with the final one. So this, I guess, this is how we chain the XOR to create a larger gate. I think to create an even larger OR gate, all we would need to do is to chain more OR gates. Like, say we had a 4th, this is the 3rd one, this is the 3rd one, this is the output, and let's say we had another output input over here, would need to chain again like this. and another one from here to here, and then to the output. That's how you make an even bigger OR gate. But for today we just have 3. These inputs are called, one single out input is called a bit, and if you combine multiple bits, we can get other higher levels of bits, like this is a 3 bit. We can have 2 bits, which is the previous one whereby we just had 2 inputs. Then we have 4 bits, 8 bits, 16 bits, 32 bits, and so on. So for now, if we test the first condition, it is able to be satisfied. The second as well, the third one as well, fourth one as well, fifth, and you can see now the electric current is able to use now these other routes and combining everything through this other OR gate, and the result is also desired. And the next, and now we have a bigger XOR gate, which is takes in 3 inputs. Let's go to the next level. Our next level is bigger AND gate. So it says create an AND gate with 3 inputs. I guess this should also be as easy as that. Okay, let's just first try to combine the same way we did the OR gate and see if it works the same, but I kind of doubt if it does work like this. Okay, given our inputs, all the inputs are off, then we get an off. Given just the first input is on, we are supposed to get an off also. And if the second one is on, so this becomes off, second one becomes on, we still get an off. If both of them are on, we still get an off. Okay, and if both of them are off, we get, if the first 2 are off and the last one is on, so this is off, this is off, and this is on, and we still get an off, so that's correct. And if the first one and the third input, the first and the third input are on and the second input is off, we still get an off. And if only the first one is off and the rest are on, we still get an off. As you can see, the AND gate is a bit more restrictive in that it's, as we can see, the output is mostly off unless all of them are on. And yeah, it seems that this is how you create a bigger AND. It's just the same as the OR gate. We just kind of chain. If we had another input, we would have chained from this to here to the other input, and then finally to here to the output. That would be if we had 4 inputs and so on. But now let's just test all our inputs and see if they're okay. Yep, and now we have a bigger AND gate. Let's go on. Today's class are a bit simple, so we might take up quite a bit more challenge for today. Our next one is XNOR. The X represents exclusive, so it's a NOR gate, but exclusive. The meaning of an XNOR. An XNOR checks if the inputs are the same, and if so, outputs are 1. It's different from an XOR. Yeah, it's actually exactly the opposite of what an XOR does. An XOR, which is this one checks, an XOR checks if the inputs, these inputs, if both of them are different, and if they are different, like these are the same, so we get an off, but if they are different, we get an on, right? It's like it checks if two variables or two inputs or any number of variables is they are the same. And then XOR does the XNOR does the opposite, whereby it checks if the inputs are the same, and if so, it outputs a 1. So the difference is, the other one checks the difference, XOR checks the difference between the two, and this one checks the if they are the same to output a 1. Our aim is to know where what our output would be. So for XOR gate, it says create the inverse. As we said, it's the inverse XOR gate known as XNOR, because it's doing just the opposite of whatever XNOR is doing. And I'm curious, if we have an XOR and invert it, we get an X or. Yeah, I'm really curious. Let's try to invert. So if we have both of the inputs as off, we get an on, which is correct. And if we have the first one as on and the second one as off, we get an off. And if we invert, we still get an off. Off still. And only when both of them, okay, not only when, if the inputs are the same, we get an on. Oh, okay. Only when, if both of the inputs are off, as we can see, both of them are off, we get an on. And if both of them are on, we get an on, as long as we are comparing if this is the same as this, and it is always the same if they have the same signal. So on, off is when we get an on. So as I guessed, yeah, the only thing is just inverting the XOR to get an XNOR, and we can test it. And now we have an XOR component. This other level is called, okay, let's just go ahead and cover this. This is a binary racer. Okay, let's do a binary racer. This level is my favorite pastime. Converting decimal to binary number. I guess we are gonna do this in the next class, because it's kind of a bit different from what we've done today, which is the the basic logics. We have finished them. So see you in the next class for the binary racer. Bye.